Alright, so we got part 3 of the 67 Fastback sheet metal process. As you can see, a lot has been done. I was only on it a couple days. I had to do a lot of other in-between jobs this week, but it's pretty far along here. I got the doors mounted on rockers. The outer rockers are welded in. Torque box on this side, and this side only it's 67, so it only got it on the driver's side. Shock tower assemblies are all welded in place. Radiator support, everything's all been ground down. All the welds are ground down up to this point. I got the doors, lined up the doors with the old quarters. And like I said before, someone patched it, or patched two cars together, which now you can see how they did it. Well, you can see there the weld that they did to join them on the inside, and I wasn't sure how they did it on the outside, and they didn't even weld it at all. They just butted them up against each other, and it's kind of a mess. So I'm gonna spend some time making that correct and making sure that it's lined up, because they actually welded those quarters up a little high in the back, and with the whole B pillar, which is from the other car too, the gap on it is a little bit far. I don't think that they moved that quarter up far enough on both sides, so I gotta spend some time and adjusting to make everything right again. But and all this metal you see here that's got the surface rust on it, that all gets cleaned up and painted, primered before I put new quarter skins on it. And I'm doing inner and outer wheelhouses. I have one-piece ones that I'll be putting in. For the most part on this car, if anyone's wondering, I used a lot of Dynacorn on this car. It seems to be the best fitting stuff that I've come into. I buy most of my stuff from CJ Pony Parts because I'm really close to them. And just Dynacorn overall, especially doors. These are Dynacorn doors. They have a lot better fitment in the end. They're a little bit thicker gauge steel. I believe it's a heavier door. The shock tower assemblies are Dynacorn. Radiator support's Dynacorn. The floor pan was Dynacorn. Rear frame rails. Pretty much mostly everything. The trunk floors were Dynacorn. The trunk brace was from a different company. And then I have regular reproduction fenders that are going to be going on it. Dynacorn quarters. The roof is going to stay. The roof is pretty nice. I cleaned out the gutters here. I got out all the old lead. Cleaned the gutter, all the seam sealer that was in the gutter. I just have to clean up that channel now. So you can see a little bit of the surface rust in there. Have the dash out, and I painted behind it. That'll be going in here sooner or later. I don't have to put it in right now. It's nice to have the extra room in there, especially whenever I was doing those welds for the floors into the firewall and grinding them. It makes it nice to give it a little extra room. I cleaned out the paint from the drip rail channels. The pillars, I cleaned the metal, stripped that down. A and B pillars. Door hinges are rebuilt. A couple coats of primer on those. So everything's getting primer where you can't see, like in between the rockers here. That's been coated a couple times on each side. And then in the end it'll get fogged also. I'll run a spray can with a nozzle extension on it. And I'll run it into frame rails, rockers, front frame rails, anywhere where you can't spray anymore. I'll just fog the inside of the rails to make sure everything's coated nice. And then pieces like up here, this will all get cleaned, primered, just to preserve it as best as I can. But now I need to clean off this original metal, clean up my welds. I still have to separate some of the old quarter here from some places. just clean up, prep work, fix these spots where they combined the two cars. You can see there, it's a real, yeah, a little bit of a mess. So just gonna clean that up, and hopefully by the end of next week it'll have quarters on it and it'll look like a car again. Get some seam sealer in it, primer all the bare spots, and then I can start hanging the front end. So hopefully I'll have another video next week and it'll look like a car again. Thanks for checking out the videos, and I'll see you next time.